Welcome again. Let us continue our discussion of differential amplifiers. Up till now, we are familiar with the basic circuit of the differential amplifier and some salient features of the differential amplifier. So, in the basic circuit, we have seen it is consist of directly coupled, two directly common emitter transistor amplifier, two directly coupled transistor amplifiers, and the first salient feature was that it amplifies the difference of the two inputs, and we have seen what we can achieve by amplifying the difference of two inputs. First thing is this: vi1, if there is a noise, if there is some noise, delta v, some noise, and this noise will definitely affect the input 1, and definitely if this all where there was doubt to some students how they are in close proximity. Actually, this is just one IC. This is just one IC. So if this IC is in some surrounding, then definitely whatever changes will be to the one input, the same changes will be in the second input, because all that is the voltage, and noise is just corrupting the voltage. Noise is just corrupting the voltage here. And if there is only one amplifier, if there is a single stage amplifier, then what will happen? Then this noise will get amplified, and which is highly undesirable, and our information will be lost. So this was the first salient feature of the differential amplifier. By amplifying the difference of the input, we can get the noise cancellation. Actually, it is not 100%, and we will see there is a one factor CMRR, that will measure how well our device is cancelling the noise. Okay, the second salient feature was it was directly coupled, so the frequency response for low frequencies was very good, as we have already discussed that thing in this point. So the RC coupled amplifier, the frequency response was this, and for direct coupled amplifier the frequency response was this. And the third point was this, that this IC is the first stage in the functional block diagram of the operational amplifier. And as we know, operational amplifier is an IC that is very extensively used, and we will study operational amplifier in great detail in subsequent sessions. So, and the fourth salient feature was high input impedance. Now let us continue our discussion from this point. Now we will discuss the DC analysis and AC analysis of the differential amplifier. As I already told you in the Telegram channel, I have mentioned that the analysis, DC analysis and AC analysis is not in our syllabus. So there is a mathematical derivation of DC analysis and AC analysis, and now we will just quantitatively, not quantitatively, qualitatively we will talk about the DC analysis and AC analysis. We will not do any mathematical calculation because this is not in our syllabus. So DC analysis, as we are already familiar with the DC analysis of the common emitter, common base, all kinds of amplifiers, we have seen the DC analysis. And in that, in DC for the common emitter, here we have common emitter amplifier. We know that for the DC analysis, what we find, Q point. So for the Q point, the ICQ and VCEQ, the two parameters for the IC for the common emitter amplifier. Similarly, here we will find ICQ and VCQ because we have two amplifier, two common emitter amplifiers are directly coupled here. And choosing, and by this analysis, what we choose, RC and RE, the value of collector resistance and emitter resistance we choose here. Now the second thing is this, AC analysis. So AC analysis deals with the how does it act as a differential amplifier. So I will discuss this point with some explanation in some subsequent session. So right now all you need to understand, choosing gain of differential amplifier. Yes, by the AC analysis we choose the gain. What is the gain of the amplifier? Because in AC analysis, as we know already, in AC analysis what we do, we have done some modeling in when in BJT. So there was a hybrid pi model for the AC analysis. So here this gain A is calculated by RE model. So in we do some kind of modeling here by RE model, and then we calculate A here. So as I already told you, the mathematical or you can say the quantitative analysis is not in our syllabus, is out of our scope. So we will not discuss that thing. But the qualitatively, what is AC analysis, what is done in the AC analysis, that we find the gain A. How we can find it? Just by the measurement. We apply some input here, we apply some input here, and by the DC analysis we have already choose the RC and RE, and for the AC analysis we short circuit, we short the all the DC sources, and we just apply the AC sources, and we measure the output, and by dividing the output over input, over the difference of the input, we can find the gain. So this is how we can find the gain. So this is the gain measurement. So we will discuss it later at the end of this session. So now this we have discussed about the DC analysis and AC analysis qualitatively. In DC analysis we find the Q point, ICQ and VCEQ. Why ICQ and VCEQ? Because this is a common this is a differential amplifier. It consists of two common emitter transistors. AC analysis, in AC analysis we try to find the gain A. And how does it act as a differential amplifier? This I will discuss later. With this point, there is one more point. There are two kinds of input. This is a non-inverting input, and this is inverting input. I will discuss this in some other separate session. Okay. Now quickly let us discuss the types of differential amplifier. So there first, in order to understand the types of differential amplifier, we need to understand the types of outputs and types of inputs. There are two kinds of inputs and two kinds of output. First, the balanced output. When output is taken from two collectors, C1 and C2. C1 and C2. Whenever we take the output from both the collectors, it means we are taking output from C2 with respect to C1. And unbalanced output, we are taking output from C2 with respect to ground. This is conventional. So some people might ask the question, why not C1? This is just a conventional thing. C2, because this was also conventional. We are taking output here with respect to this one. So the other way around is also possible, but conventionally it is we are doing this thing. So it is you can say IEEE standard. So unbalanced output. Now unbalanced output, what is unbalanced output? In unbalanced output, we take output from the C2 with respect to ground, and there could be two kinds of input: single input or dual input. Single input is this whenever we are providing input to the only one terminal and other is grounded. So there are two possibilities for inputs and two possibilities for outputs. So for the sake of argument and for the sake of logic, there could be four possible combinations. The first one is dual input balanced output. Dual input balanced output differential amplifier. So here we have a dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Both the inputs are provided. This is the input 1, input 2, and the output is being taken from the two collector terminals. So how we can take the output? Just by measuring the output by some voltmeter or multimeter connecting to these terminals. Second is dual input unbalanced output. In this kind of configuration, we have both the inputs present and output is taken from the collector C2 with respect to ground. With respect to ground, output is taken from the collector C2. Now the third one is single input balanced output. Single input balanced output differential amplifier. Single input, one input is grounded, one input is provided, and output is taken from the both the collectors from C2 with respect to C1. Again, this is very easy. It's just logical thing. Single input unbalanced output. So again, one is grounded, input is provided here, and output is taken from the collector C2. Output is taken from the collector C2. So this is how we can classify the differential amplifier. There are 4 types of differential amplifier. I suppose this is very easy, and now you are very much familiar with the differential amplifier. Next thing is, this is the general expression for the differential amplifier. V0 equal to A Vi1 minus Vi2. This is the differential. Vid is defined as the differential input, Vi1 minus V02, and AD, this is the differential gain. I will discuss this thing in the next slide. And the next topic is CMRR. So before discussing CMRR, let us introduce ourselves with the two kind of things with pertaining to differential amplifier. One is differential mode and one is common mode. Differential mode. So the differential mode is something like this. In differential mode is just a general thing, the general definition of the differential amplifier. So what is the general definition of differential amplifier? We apply the two inputs, this input, and we are taking output from here. So what will happen? V0 will be a V0 equal to A Vi1 minus Vi2. So this gain, this A is called AD. This is called differential mode gain. This is equal to V0 over Vi1 minus Vi2. If we need to measure the differential mode gain, all we need to do, first we need to measure V0 and then we need to measure the difference of two signals. And this is common mode. So this is the differential mode and this is the common mode. Common mode, in common mode, what we do, we apply the same signal to the both the inputs. This is the input and we are applying just Vi1. So ideally what should happen, if we are applying the same signal, then according to this equation V0 must be 0. But practically this is not like this. Practically there is some mismatch between this transistor Q1 and Q2. Initially, whenever we were discussing about the differential amplifier, we have taken this and these two transistors identical, but as already we have discussed when we were discussing about the beta, to manufacture two identical transistors having all the parameters same like beta and all the other parameters same is not possible, practically not possible, because there is a manufacturing limitation. Even we are using all the computerized calculations and all the computerized all the automation is there in spite of that, there is a mismatch, some kind of mismatch. So what will happen, the noise that we are talking about will not affect the same. Just like this, whenever we apply the same signal to the both the input, the output must be 0, but it's not like that. We get some value v naught equal to some gain, which is called common mode, because both the inputs are common, v I1 minus vi1 common input is vi1, common input is v, because we applied the common input vi1 here. Ideally the input must be 0, ideally the input must be 0, because for the differential amplifier the formula is this for the differential mode gain. But in order to measure the common mode gain, this is how we can measure the common mode. ACM is the common mode gain, and what we are doing, we are providing the same input vi1 here. So here we are not writing the formula vi1 minus vi2, because this will make 0. This will make 0, which is the ideal condition, which is here, which is a differential mode in the different. But there is also some common mode gain. So the how to measure common mode gain, this is how we are measuring the differential mode gain, and this is how we are measuring the common mode gain. Common mode gain, what is happening here in common mode gain, v naught upon vi1. All we need to do, we need to measure this v naught again by the multimeter or voltmeter, and we can measure this voltage and we can find the common mode gain. And again we can here for the differential mode gain, we can apply the two inputs and find the output. So now the distinction between common mode gain and differential mode gain must be very clear to you. There is a clear cut distinction. So according to the definition of differential amplifier, the output must be 0, but it is not 0. The problem is this, because there is a mismatch between two transistors. There is a mismatch between the two transistors. Whatever input is going there, some kind of output is there, and some kind of output is there because of this internal structure of this transistor. So, and these both are slightly different, so there will be some voltage appearing. There will be some voltage appearing, and that voltage divided by this input is called the common mode gain. And this is very simple. This is just the basics of this is little complex, but these are the two different things. This is just that's why I'm just explaining this thing just by the measurement, not by the mathematical. Qualitatively we are trying to understand. Now we will come to one very our last point, CMRR. CMRR, common mode rejection ratio, the property of differential amplifier, to what degree it eliminates any signal which is common to both input, that is measured by CMRR. So CMRR is a factor which measures how well my differential amplifier is rejecting the common mode. It means how less is the mismatch between the two transistors. In other way we can say how well my differential amplifier is rejecting. So this is defined as CMRR, the modulus of differential mode gain upon modulus of common mode gain. Now we know how to measure differential mode gain and how to measure common mode gain. As we know that common mode gain for the ideal value is must be infinite, because we do not want any common mode gain, but still it's there. But as for the ideal case, we will say common mode gain approaches to 0, so the CMRR approaches to the infinity. And this is the decibel formula for CMRR, and the practical value of CMRR is 70 dB to 80 dB for the differential amplifiers. and CMRR is the ratio of differential mode gain over common mode gain. And I suppose you are very much familiar with the differential mode gain and common mode gain. Once again, I will tell you, I will repeat. This is we are measuring by providing the same input, and this is we are measuring providing the different inputs, and this is how we can differentiate between uh, common mode gain and differential mode gain. So and now the 2-3 points are remaining, and I will discuss into the some other session.